The butterfly effect is defined as the idea that a small cause, such as the flap of a butterfly's wings, can result in dramatic effects like altering the path of a tornado. This is also sometimes referred to as chaos theory, which is defined as the phenomenon where a minute localized change in a complex system can have large effects elsewhere. What is up, my manifesting family? I'm Marna, and thank you for joining me. I am a manifestation and mindset coach, and I tend to approach manifesting from a science based perspective. Before we dive into this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up so it can reach some more people. And I do have a free PDF on manifesting cryptocurrency available, and details on getting that are in the description box below. A meteorology professor and mathematician by the name of Edward Lorenz, who was searching for a means to predict weather, gave a lecture in 1972 where he stated that a butterfly flapping its wings in Brazil can produce a tornado in Texas. In an experiment to predict the weather, he used a computer to enter precise variables and discovered that any small change in those variables, such as a change in temperature or wind speed, caused a dramatic change in the simulated 2 months forecast of weather predictions. Now, his writing speeches and interview conveyed that the butterfly is a symbolic representation of an unknowable quantity, making the phrase butterfly effect now common to use to describe situations where a small cause can produce a large effect. It became so popular that the title, The Butterfly Effect, was even used in the creation of a popular 2004 movie, and there are many examples of the butterfly effect. For instance, did you know that the Lego Group began in a carpentry workshop that mostly assisted in the construction of houses and furniture? The workshop, owned by old Kurt Christensen, a Danish carpenter, burned down in 1924 when a fire ignited some of the wood shavings. And Olgert then constructed a larger workshop to expand his business. But when the Great Depression hit, he had fewer customers and had to become creative. He shifted his focus to smaller projects, and those projects consisted of producing miniature versions of his products, such as stepladders and ironing boards. And that led to his inspiration to begin producing toys. When plastic became available, he began producing miniature bricks. Now, the Lego Company is a very popular and profitable line of construction toys and related products and services, to include board games, retail stores, video games, films, theme parks, and consultant services. It's also said that Lego pieces outnumber humans by 62 to 1. Another example of the butterfly effect is a fictitious book called Friday the 13th. Written by a stockbroker named Thomas Lawson in 1907, it was said to cause extensive losses to the U.S. economy. On that particular day the book is written about, a businessman's attempt to crash the stock market on Friday the 13th created a link between bad luck on those Fridays and poor stock market performance. In researching the book's effects, one publication states the S&P's 500 stock index performs worse on Fridays that end in 13 than it does on every other Friday. And priceandeconomics.com states that since traders are subject to talk to both market forces and the whims of their fellow traders, financial markets could be the one place where superstitions have a basis in reality. You don't need to avoid black cats on Friday the 13th, but you should avoid scheduling your IPO that day. And although I wasn't able to verify it, it has been stated that the U.S. economy loses $900 million on Friday the 13th because instead of going to work or out shopping, people stay home instead. Another more recent example of how ideas spread and impact individuals is Blendtex. Blend videos. The company Blendtec, which sells blenders, turned their brand for an everyday household item into a viral sensation because the company's founder, Tom Dixon, was always testing the power and durability of their blenders. Their marketing director, George Wright, used a very small budget to begin using this testing to create a video series called Will It Blend?, where random objects are used for this testing. With one video attempting to blend an iPad and pulling in 19 million views, these examples show two things. One, small things can have very large effects. And two, everything seemingly is interconnected. Essentially, each path and decision has the ability to produce a different outcome. Our thoughts, beliefs, decisions, and actions set a ripple into motion that affects our lives and the lives of others. Can you think of one small event in your life that if it had been different, it would have drastically altered the events that you experienced? We are in a constant state of creation, a state of cause and effect, each moment in our lives, and the occurrences in those moments can be taken back to the very moment before. This isn't necessarily mystical. We experience these ripple effects all the time, even if they go unnoticed. But have you ever noticed that when you smile at a stranger, they almost always offer a smile in return? And have you heard that with just one small gesture, you could change someone's life? Maybe you have, even if unknowingly, the golden rule seems to directly relate to the effect. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Our actions have great value. And examining those actions prior to making them can be the small change that produces the larger effects. One immediate way to begin creating these positive changes is by choosing an optimistic mindset. Yes, it is a choice. And with this choice, some individuals may even find that they did not realize that their dominant mindset habitually moved in a negative direction. But the choice begins the change. And our thoughts can immediately be altered to create a ripple effect that directly impacts our reality. In fact, just by choosing to have an optimistic mindset, you can begin to create the habit of that so it becomes a natural occurrence in your life. And with new thoughts and choices, even more new thoughts and choices are created. This leads to new beliefs, new behavior, new actions. And one way to begin implementing these action ripple effects is by creating a butterfly effect 30-day calendar. Write down several small things that you can do each day that will have a positive effect on you or someone else. And then commit to following through with those actions. This could be as simple as smiling at everyone you meet all day, or committing to turning every thought that comes into your mind into a positive one, or deciding to give compliments to others, or be grateful for every single thing you encounter, or wake up a few minutes earlier so that you can dedicate some time to something you're passionate about. There's a great example offered on compound interest that shows how a small change can create a huge impact. And we can use this example to compare how our lives might increase in abundant ways by investing in ourselves. On this chart, you can see how starting with just 1 penny on day 1 and doubling the previous day's investment each day for 30 days can rapidly reap huge rewards. Even if you don't see a 100 times return each day, the principle of compounding holds true for smaller returns. Again, showing the power of the butterfly effect. And this is true of the returns in our lives. The choices that we make continuously grow and shape our lives. And what we put out, we receive back, often multiplied. And with just one choice, things that are in alignment with that decision will begin to present themselves to you, compounding the interest of those choices, essentially paying you for the choices you made. This is true whether we consciously do it or not, or whether we do it in a positive or negative way. As Sean Acker wrote in his book, The Happiness Advantage, each one of us is like that butterfly from the butterfly effect. And each tiny move toward a more positive mindset can send ripples of positivity through our organizations, our families, our communities. Think back over the chain of cause and effect in your own life. What decisions did you make that got you where you are today? What is a simple choice that you can make right now that moves you in the direction of the life you want to live? You can set the intention right now to make that decision by putting it in the comments section. Every day we make choices that affect the course of our lives. And just one choice that you make today could be the seed that changes your life. or the lives of those you love in abundantly positive ways. I'm Marna. Thank you for joining me and have a beautiful rest of your day.